So we're going to solve the pair of equations for x and y. So if we need to solve for just x, we need one equation, and if we need to solve for x and y, we need two equations in x and y. So that's what we have here. So the first thing to do is to graph each equation. So that is what we need to do first. Graph each equation, and we graph the equation of a straight line by plotting at least 2 points. So let's start with 3x minus 2y equals 6. So we're going to plot two easy points. So let's plug in x equals 0 first, and then figure out the y, and that'll give us 1 point xy. So I'm going to plug in x equals 0 in the equation and leave y alone, and write down the equation. 3 times 0 is 0. So we have 0 minus 2y equals 6, which is the same as negative 2y equals 6. Now we have to solve for y. So we divide both sides of the equation with negative 2. So y equals negative 3, because 2 goes 3 times into 6, and we have a positive in the numerator, negative in the denominator. So we have 1 point, 0, comma, negative 3, because when x is 0, y is negative 3. Now we can calculate another point. So we're plotting easy points. Easy points are when you plug in x equals 0, figure out what the y is, that happens to be the y-intercept, and then next we're going to plug in y equals 0 and figure out what x is and get another point on the straight line. So we have 3 times x, we leave the x alone, minus 2 times 0 equals 6. Now 2 times 0 is 0, so 3x minus 0 equals 6. 3x minus 0 is 3x equals 6. We divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 2. So another point on the graph is when y is 0, x is equal to 2. So we have 2 points, 0, negative 3, and 2, comma, 0. So this is your y-intercept, and this is your x-intercept. Now we do the exact same thing with the second equation. So when we have the equation x minus y equals 1, we find the 2 points by doing the exact same thing. Let's plug in x equals 0, figure out the y. Let's plug in y equals 0 and figure out the x. And that's how we get 2 points. So when x is 0, 0 minus y equals 1, we leave y alone. Negative y equals 1. We can either multiply both sides with negative 1 or divide. Either way, we get plus y equals negative 1. So one of our points is 0. When x is 0, y is negative 1. We find the second point by plugging in y equals 0. So x minus 0, because y equals 0, equals 1, which is the same as x equals 1. So when y is equal to 0, x equals 1. So this is our y-intercept, and this is the x-intercept. Now we've got the 2 points. Now we need to graph the two equations. We have, so the first line, so the line 1, we can get by joining the points 0, negative 3, when x is 0, y is negative 3, and then 2, comma 0. That's our first line. Our second line is 0 comma negative 1 and 1 comma 0. So I made the coordinate axis. So now I'm going to plot line 1. So first the point 0 comma negative 3. So x is 0. Go down because this is y. It's vertical. Go down because it's negative. And this is 0 comma negative 3. 2, 0. You go on the positive side of the x because x is 2 and y is 0, so you neither go up nor down, so that is 2 comma 0. So we join these two lines, these 2 points with a straight line, and let's extend the line a bit. Okay, now the other line, let's change the color, is 0 negative 1, so that's 0 negative 1 and 1 0, and the line has to join these 2 points. So wherever the graph intersects, okay, that's the point that we need to locate. So roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not very accurate here, but when you do this on your system, you should be able to get the exact point, and that point of intersection is what we need to locate, and that would be the solution to this equation. So if you had to solve it algebraically, it would be, let's just do this real quick. This is graphically, and you need a system, a proper system to graph it so you can get an exact point. 3x minus 2y equals 6, and x minus y equals 1. If we had to solve this equation algebraically, we could multiply both sides of the equation by negative 2, and so we have 3x minus 2y equals 6. When we multiply both sides of the equation with negative 2, we have negative 2x, negative times negative, positive 2y, and we have to do the exact same thing on the right side. So negative 2 times 1 equals negative 2. So when we add these two equations, the plus 2y and the minus 2y cancel. 3x minus 2x is x. 6 minus 2 is 4. So x is equal to 4. And then y, we need to figure out by plugging in the x. So let's use the easy equation, x minus y equals 1. We plug in 4 in for x. 4 minus y equals 1. We subtract 4 on both sides, so we get y by itself. So negative y equals negative 3. 1 minus 4 is equal to negative 3. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Now we multiply both sides with a negative 1, and that cancels the negative sign on both sides, and we get y equals 3. So 4 comma 3 is the point of intersection. So if the graph was exact, it would be 4 and 3. It would intersect somewhere here. So we need to draw a proper graph. Obviously, when you use your system, it's going to be exact.